RUTV, we cover last Sunday's Grammys award show.
Then we go in depth on the latest in school sports.
And later we discuss the potential reopenings of LA County. It all starts right now on RUTV. Good morning, Seahawks. Today is Friday, March 19th, and I'm Bella Hynes.
And I'm Tatum Brown. Now for your school announcements. RUHS ASB is looking for students interested in being in ASB for the 2021 to 2022 school year. Students will be presented throughout the year with opportunities to plan the events for the school year, build school spirit, and actively engage the various voices in the school community. If ASB sounds like a class that you are interested in, come to an informational meeting on March 23rd. Join the ASB Elections Google Classroom. The code can be found in your school email.
On Wednesday, March 24th, ASB will be working in collaboration with UCLA to host a blood drive at the Sonesta Hotel from 1 to 6 p.m. UCLA is in critical need for blood and every donation helps. Please see the flyer in your school email for additional information.
Are you ready for another night of laughs? Comedy Sports is back in session for their next match, featuring their JV team battling against each other to see which team can make you laugh more. Join them tonight at 7 p.m. Zoom link can be available in the Drama Club Google Classroom. The code can be found in your school email. Hope to see you there.
The class of 2021 is looking for artists to help design a mural that will go on our campus, cementing the class legacy. And we want student input designs that the class of 2021 can then vote on. Design criteria should include a visual representation of what it means to be a Seahawk and our time at RUHS. The piece will be on an 8 by 24 foot space design that will be submitted to Miss Mata by Monday. For more information, please see the flyer attached to your school email. Now let's go over Karma Sarni covering national news with her St. Patty's spirit.
Hi, I'm Karma with your national news update. On Tuesday, 8 people were killed in a series of shootings in Atlanta, at least 6 of them Asian women. The attacks occurred just days after President Joe Biden delivered a speech condemning the recent surge in hate crimes against Asian Americans. A suspect was arrested hours later in southern Georgia. In other news, the city of Minneapolis will pay $27 million to the family of George Floyd, following a unanimous vote by the city council to settle a lawsuit over his death. Officer Derek Chauvin still faces charges of second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter, and 2 jurors have been dismissed because news of the settlement meant they could no longer be impartial. Now, let's transition over to Travis with RUTV Sports.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of RUTV Sports. I'm Nathan Robertson.
And I'm Travis Wilkins. Happy St. Patrick's Day, and with the luck of the Irish also comes March Madness. Yes, it is that time of year again. And after a devastating and abrupt end to college basketball last year, the March Madness we've been waiting for has finally arrived. One important twist to this year's bracket, though, is that powerhouses Duke and Kentucky won't be in the tournament for the first time since 1976. Both teams were in the top 10 to start the year, but couldn't live up to their elite expectations. But now on to some contenders. Gonzaga and Baylor are the favorites to cut down the nets this year. But nothing is promised when it comes to March Madness, where there comes crazy upsets and crazy blowouts. Only time will tell who's taking home this year's NCAA championship.
Our boys tennis team had their first match against Loyola last Wednesday. They fought hard, but it was a tough match for them that ended in a 4-14 loss. But they did get 3 wins from singles and 1 win from doubles. On Tuesday, our girls tennis team also had their first match against Penn. They played hard, but sadly they lost 3-15. Varsity water polo continued their season on Monday the 10th against PV High. Unfortunately, our boys team lost 9-12 in a tight game, but this is only their first loss of the season. That same day, our girls came out victorious, fighting hard for their third win of the season, ending 7-3.
Saints quarterback Drew Brees officially announced his retirement this past Sunday after a 20-year-long endeavor in the NFL. Brees said this is not a goodbye, rather a new beginning, and Brees won't step too far from the gridiron, as he announced last Monday that he will be joining the NBC sports team and will also be calling Notre Dame football games. Brees leaves the playing field at number 1 in all-time passing yards, 2nd in career touchdowns, and number 1 in Saints fans' hearts. Congrats, Drew, on a tremendous 20-year career.
The big event this past week was our girls' softball game on Wednesday, March 10th. Our varsity softball team took on our rivals, Maricosta, in a great game. Co-captains Carly Koltko and Vivian Rivero both played incredibly. Starting pitcher Carly Koltko ended the game throwing a total of 7 strikes, and Vivian Rivero slammed the ball out of the park for a 3-run home run, aiding in the 8 total runs scored by Redondo that night for a final score of 8-1 in favor of our Seahawks. Well, that's all for RUTV Sports. See you next time.
Go Seahawks!
LA County, as well as many other neighboring counties, are moving towards the next steps for reopening. Within the next weeks, one of the key advancements is that LA County is allowing restaurants to resume indoor dining. Along with this, we can expect places like zoos, amusement parks, stadiums, and gyms to be allowed to open with restrictions.
In honor of Women's History Month, we'd like to highlight female figures that have greatly impacted society. Elizabeth Blackwell is best known for becoming the first woman in America to receive a medical degree. After moving from England, Blackwell and her family faced many challenges in America, pushing her to want to succeed even more. She fought hard against discrimination in gender roles and during her school days. Blackwell eventually opened her own medical practice and later became a professor at the London Medical School for Women, teaching the new generation of female doctors. Now let's go to Sofia Roberts with entertainment.
Hello everyone, I'm Sofia Roberts and this is your entertainment news. Last Sunday was the 63rd annual Grammy Awards show hosted by talk show host Trevor Noah live from the Staples Center. Some of the performers from that night include Bad Bunny, Taylor Swift, Dua Lipa, the Black Pumas, Billie Eilish, among others, and some of the award winners from that night include Taylor Swift, Her, Megan Thee Stallion, Dua Lipa, Harry Styles, James Taylor, and John Legend, among many others as well. Beyonce had a high number of 9 nominations that night and took home her 28th Grammy Award, which broke the record for the most Grammy wins from any female artist ever. Netflix is adding more movies to their streaming service each month for their viewers, and here are some new movies and shows that you can watch that will be added to their platform by the end of March. The BFG, The Dark Knight, Crazy Stupid Love, The Pursuit of Happiness, Big Time Rush Seasons 1 through 4, among others.
Join the Redondo Reducers using a free link to a virtual screening of the documentary The Story of Plastic from now until April 1st. Followed on the night of April 1st by a panel discussion with the local environmental heroes. Check out the flyer found in your school email. Remember, we can't recycle out of the problem, reduce your use.
Remember, if you want to apply to state JSF, make sure to do it today. The Buddy Bench program is collecting plastic bottles, caps, and lids to convert them into benches. With these benches, elementary school students can now sit and make friends. If you'd like to participate in collecting lids and caps, please drop them off at the Alta Vista parking lot on the first Saturday of every month from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Here's your fun fact brought to you by the Beach Buddies Club. Did you know beluga whales have bulbous, flexible foreheads called melons? These help them produce sound and make facial expressions. They are often called the canaries of the sea because they vocalize many different sounds, including clicks, whistles, chirps, and squeals. Fascinating.
And last but certainly not least, if you're interested in joining a team, collaborating in a school-wide project, working behind or in front of the cameras, then you should apply to RUTV. The application form can be found in your school email. Well, that about does it for this week's broadcast. Stay safe, stay healthy, and remember, 10 more days until spring break. I'm Bella Hynes.
And I'm Tatum Brown.
Keep on soaring, Seahawks.